Freestyle Travel. Hey everybody, this is the Freestyle Travel Show. I'm your host, Kenny Flannery, and I'm here in Wyoming, close to the Colorado border, real close, in the south. And I'll be here for the next few weeks, watching over a ranch, doing a little house sitting, ranch sitting, whatever you want to call it. Feeding a dog, feeding a couple cats, making sure they don't get lost, eaten by owls, all that good stuff. Man, that would be terrible. I hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, I came across this, a friend tagged me and one of her friends, these ranch owners, post that they were looking for someone to watch over their animals while they were out of town, going to Rwanda for this cycling tour. And I was like, yeah, that sounds freaking awesome, especially since my mom lives in Wyoming, and she was asking me about Thanksgiving, and they need someone up until just about Thanksgiving, so it couldn't have been more perfect. I've got some stuff I'm really writing, a book eventually. We'll see how much I get done here. Hopefully most of it, maybe all of it. So yeah, everything just came together really, really perfect, especially since I had to be in the United States anyways. The main reason for me coming back to the U.S. was for my friend Nick's wedding, which is where this kind of story will start off. I know some of my episodes have had a particular topic. If you haven't heard the other ones, you can go back. I've got specific ones on hitchhiking, on couch surfing, on packing, on travel fatigue. And I usually start off with a story of my travels from the last episode, but there's been a lot of road, and I figured I could fill enough with just what's been going on between Mississippi and here in Wyoming, starting with Mississippi and to the wedding in Memphis, Tennessee. So yeah, Mississippi was good, and I was trying to make it. I thought I could make it in one day to Memphis. I did make it in one day, but I thought I could make it in time for my friend Nick, the one getting married. He's having like a bachelor dinner, he kind of called it. There's a concert. I thought I could make it for that in time, and I didn't. Well, I made it in time for the concert, but I missed a dinner. Just a real slow hitchhiking day. Just sometimes you get out there and it's just not working out. Did a lot of walking and just no one was picking me up. I was kind of getting frustrated actually, which I don't normally get frustrated hitchhiking. Just, I don't know, but with this kind of having the time frame, it doesn't help to be frustrated. I think it shows, and then defeats the purpose because people don't pick up frustrated looking people, I guess. But anyways, I got a ride in a pickup truck in the end, going to Indiana. So he drove right through Memphis and dropped me off right by the concert venue. So yeah, I missed a dinner, but got there for the concert, and it was a good weekend. Just watched my buddy get married. The only other people I knew there, well, I guess I knew several people. I knew his brother, I knew his mom, actually, from a trip in Istanbul. But then I knew a couple other people that I met volunteering for couch surfing, actually. One I just saw recently in Berlin, and another I haven't seen in a few years, so it was cool catching up with those two. And Nick, when I could, it's his wedding, so you can only talk to so many people at once. But yeah, pretty good weekend. Good barbecue, Nick. Oh yeah, barbecue in Memphis is freaking awesome. He had it catered by Central Barbecue. Freaking good. I am motivated by food. That's true. Yeah, good weekend. And yeah, actually I had this, I didn't want to set up a couch surfer while I was staying there. I definitely didn't want to bother Nick because, he's probably got a million things going on. He doesn't actually even live in Memphis. But I have this referral code on my website, hobolifestyle.com, for Airbnb. I've got it for Uber and some things too. I've mentioned the Amazon thing that I've got on there too, not to get into all that, but yeah, if you do want to get something on Amazon, check out my referral code. But anyways, the Airbnb one, only actually one person's ever clicked, and randomly I got an email and they're like, you've got $30 for Airbnb. Free credit because this person used it. So thank you if you know who you are, or if you're someone who hasn't used Airbnb yet and you're gonna, go ahead and use my referral code as well. But anyways, the point is that I had this $30 free credit, and I've had it in my back pocket for a few months now, waiting for that one emergency or random night where the weather's crazy. So my idea was like, oh yeah, I'll use this for one of the nights while I'm in Memphis. But it just got kind of squirrely, and I was trying to send this message to someone late, and they weren't responding on Airbnb. So I ended up staying at one of my friend's Airbnbs. Like, she asked her host, like, she said stuff was going down, and she knew the person I was trying to get in contact with, and she's like, that person's crazy. Just have them sleep on my couch. She ended up being a pretty cool person, too, driving in her VW van, telling me some stories. So, yeah, kind of that all worked out, and I still got that $30 in my pocket, waiting for the right time. So, yeah, Memphis is good. And from Memphis, the idea was to get out here to Wyoming. Had about 2 weeks. So I'm like, all right, 2 weeks. What can I do between Memphis and there? I knew I wanted to see my friend in Indianapolis. I had another person in Nashville that I hadn't seen. I only met him once, but like a year or so ago. So I'm like, all right, I'll go to Nashville and then Indy for starters. So that's what I did. Getting to Nashville was easy. Actually, my friend Nick, the one who got married, his mom at the wedding, she's like, I'm going to Virginia tomorrow, so I can give you a ride. I'm going right through Nashville. So I didn't even have to hitchhike. Got to Nashville, met up with that guy, and really cool. He's from Montana. Used to have a bunch of stuff going on out there, and he still has a cabin that he goes to during the summer, so pretty chill. Just catching up with him. And then hitchhiked up to Indy from there. And again, I thought maybe I could make it in a day. It's only 4 hours, but Louisville is in the way. So it actually did end up taking 2 days. So I made it part of the way. I got a ride from these guys who were going up to Dayton. So I rode most of the way with them and then camped out for a night. And then, yeah, caught some rides the next day and made it up to Indy with relative ease. And yeah, that was pretty good. I did deal with a cop that day, but they just looked at my passport and gave me a ride to the next exit. So yeah, that was no big deal. But I got to Indy. My friend picked me up there. That's a guy I've seen 2 or 3 times, maybe 3 times. But really cool. And we brewed a beer the last time I saw him, and it was still good. He had like a few bottles left, so we had a couple of them, and it was an IPA, so I was a little worried it might be no good anymore. And it was a little bit malty, but it was delicious, and the carbonation was perfect, and I was just happy. That's the best way to rock in to somebody's house, is to pop open a beer that you actually brewed months or years ago. So that was sweet. I really like that. Actually, that's not even I've had another homebrew this year. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last episode, but when I've stayed with a friend in Augusta, he had a homebrew that he brewed a super small batch of. I think they brewed a gallon, and they bottled it in like Coke bottles or little plastic bottles anyway. And they gave me one, which is cool because I only had a few. So it was sort of bottle conditioning in my backpack, and I actually popped that one open in Mississippi. And it was good. I mean, it wasn't an amazing beer by any stretch, but for what it was pretty good. I think they used a lot of Citra hops, so it was cool. Super fizzy. But I just love trying homebrews. Even if a homebrew's bad, it's kind of like a learning experience. So, and I like that because I like to brew beer. So I like to know what's going wrong, what's going right. So anyways, yeah, back to Indiana. My friend there, we hung out for a few days. He had a new roommate, and his roommate's son was there, and we went to some good breweries. Daredevil in Indianapolis, that was definitely the best. If you're into beer. If you're not into beer, you're probably already tuning out with my homebrew story, but get out of here. Yeah, Daredevil's freaking amazing. Just go there. Even if you don't like beer, they got good food and stuff too. We had some grilled cheese. Now you know that. And from Indianapolis, he gave me a ride to the edge of town, which is always very much appreciated. Insanely so. Actually, I love that. Especially for bigger cities. Can't be thankful enough, like, getting out of bigger cities. It's the hardest part of hitchhiking, in my opinion. It's getting out of big cities. So yeah, he did that in the morning, and I was gonna go to St. Louis after that for no other reason than I've got a kind of a football friend there. So that was fairly easy getting over there. I got a ride from this truck driver, actually kind of a younger guy. Yeah, he'd been in the military. He just talked my freaking ear off, which a lot of people do, because I let people do it. I like to hear what people are saying. Yeah, he was just an opinionated dude. But about it was military time and how badass of a trucker he is and all this kind of thing. But pretty cool. Dropped me off like a 10-minute walk from my buddy's house. That was kind of perfect. It wasn't intentional. He didn't go out of his way to do it. It's just the way it worked out. So yeah, just hung out, watched a bunch of football with my friend, kicked it. And from there, so I'm going to Wyoming, right? That's the whole direction of this. So St. Louis I just chose for that reason, because he was there and that'd be cool. And then I knew I wanted to go to Boulder for sure. That was going to be my last stop to Wyoming, because that's where my younger brother lives. So on the way there, I looked up, or I posted a public trip on Couchsurfing in Kansas City, thinking that would break up the trip a little bit more, just to avoid getting caught out camping, thinking it might get cold on the way, and just more fun. I've always kind of wanted to kick it in Kansas City. I never really fully do. So someone responded. This girl sent me a message and said she could host me for a night or two. So that ended up being pretty fun. I got there, and I've been through Kansas City so many times because it's in the center of the country. And one time I was there and I kind of got bailed on from a couch surfer. It was some girl with no references, but she seemed kind of legit. And she said she got off work at around 11 p.m. or something. And I was hitchhiking to New York ultimately, not in any kind of hurry. And again, it was the same sort of thing. Like, I wanted to find someone there to break up the trip a little bit and also check it out, because it's a city I haven't been to. And what made it a little bit worse is that this guy who was giving me a ride was going all the way to Virginia. And I was like, oh man, that's like all the way to New York. But I'm like, sweet ride, but like, I do want to see Kansas City, so I'm going to stop here. So he was even nice enough to get off the highway and drop me off like right kind of downtown at like 9 or something, 9 at night. And I get there and I go find a good beer bar, of course, and I'm like, all right, I'll nurse this beer until she gets off. And 11 o'clock rolls around and nothing, no message. Midnight rolls around. At that point, I sent her a text message, sent her a message through the website. Nothing. I might have called her like at 11:15 or something, and nothing. And 1 a.m. rolls around, and then I think it was 2 a.m. It was last call, and just nothing. And I'm in the center of the city, so I just had to walk out of there and find a place to camp. It took like an hour and a half, 2 hours just to find a place to camp. And then in the morning, I just kept on hitchhiking towards New York, thinking like, should have just stayed with that guy going to Virginia. I heard back from that girl like a week later, and she didn't ask how my night went or anything, or she just said, oh, I got tired that night and I went to sleep. And she didn't end it by saying like, did everything work out for you or whatever. She just, I don't know, I guess just didn't understand that there are people on the other end of a couchsurfing website. So a little weird, but anyways, back to this time, like, I want to make up for that. So this girl was real, and that I stayed with, couchsurfing host, also knew. She had one reference, but yeah, she put me up and showed me a good time around the city. We went out drinking, met one of her friends there, just laughing it up. Some decent beer in the mix. Really, really good time. Next day was kind of a lazy day. Just catching up, and went and met one of her friends who had sort of a rooftop view. That was cool. Listened to some jazz music, which I didn't expect. That was really good. And yeah, it's good times all around. And in the morning, she also gave me a ride to the edge of Kansas City. Again, my favorite things that people can do for you. And yeah, at this point, I'm at the edge of Kansas City, and I want to get to Boulder. And meanwhile, I have someone who offered to host me in Denver. So I'm like, all right, I got options and things, but again, it's like a 7-8 hour drive to Denver. Don't know if I'll make it, but this guy picks me up. He's going all the way to freaking California. So he's like, I'm going right now. I'm driving all day. I want to get through Colorado. I'm like, perfect. So I contact the couch surfing host in Denver. I'm like, can you definitely host? A guy kind of offered, and he's like, yeah, no problem. This guy ended up being real chill, real cool. But anyways, the guy was giving me a ride. He was cool too. I ended up helping him drive a little bit for a couple hours. I was so tired. I got like zero sleep in Kansas City. I must have slept like 5 hours the whole time I was there. But I helped him drive anyways, and I did like come close to falling asleep one time, like kind of veered towards the median, and that woke me up, so I was good. But saved him some chill time. He had a long drive, obviously, to California, so yeah, we made it, and he dropped me off in Denver, walked down, met my couch surfing host there. This guy's hosted a bunch. Just real casual, cool guy. He wasn't worried about my timing, nothing, just cool and fun to hang out with. Big Dumb and Dumber fan. I mean, what more can you ask for? He had videos of him at the hotel lobby bar, right in the lobby, reenacting some Dumb and Dumber scenes. Perfect. So, yeah, I kicked it with him for the night. Next day he was at work, so I just bounced around Denver, checking out some breweries and other stuff. You know how it goes. And he actually gave me a ride up to Boulder that night, so we kind of kicked it around there. Went to a dive bar, played some shuffleboard. Favorite bar game by far. Have you played shuffleboard? Look into it. The one with the pucks, not the cruise ship, not the cruise ship one on the ground. It's a fun game. And then I walked up to my brother's place, who lives right in the middle of everything. So he's going to school out there at CU, and yeah, he lives right in the middle of everything. Outside of his window is just like people watching. It's great. So caught up with him, had a great night, just chatting it up, hanging out, meeting his roommates and things. He had 3 other roommates, and yeah, just spent a few days there in Boulder, kicking it. Went to some breweries because he's in college. He's not drinking. He's drinking some beers and things like that. But I'm like, come on, we gotta go check out some legit breweries here. And yeah, we had some fine beers. He took me to Hazel's, which was actually like a Bevmo, like big old beer store, like gigantic liquor kind of store. So we put some stuff together. Had some good stuff. Went to a Halloween party, things. I borrowed a hot dog costume. I think just, yeah, good times all around there in Boulder. And yeah, finally, after the weekend, I had to come here to Wyoming. And it's like a 4-hour drive from where he's at. So I thought maybe I'd make it. Again, 4 hours is not a lot to hitchhike in a day, but because of where it is, there's some back roads and stuff involved. And there's like 2 main different routes I could take. One, mostly all interstates until the last hour, and one, a lot of back roads to the mountains, which on the map at least looked like it'd be super scenic and cool. Like, I don't know how much traffic's going to be on there. If it's going through the mountains, it might be colder. If I get stuck out there, it might suck more. But I'll just see how it goes. So my brother dropped me off on I-25 and got a short ride, but then I got a ride from a trucker going to Nebraska. So that got me up to Interstate 80. And from there, I got picked up from a guy who said he was going to Laramie, a hunter. Clearly a hunter. He was decked out. Even his truck was like camouflage, the inside anyway. And he said he was going to Laramie. I was like, cool, that's where I'm going to. And Laramie is where I would really have to make my decision. Am I going through the mountain roads or am I going through the interstate? And he asked where I was specifically going. And I told him the town. He just looked it up on the map and he's like, yeah, screw it. I can take you there. It's like 2 hours past Laramie. And I don't know what his total deal was. Like, I don't know if he was going to head this way anyways, but he was looking for an elk. Like, there's 2 days left hunting season, and he was really bumming and kind of stressing that he hadn't gotten an elk yet. So I think maybe he was going to go this sort of direction anyway. I don't know about all the way, but super cool. Just talked my ear off about hunting and kind of slowing down every time we saw some deer and stuff, and talking about specific areas. Wyoming dude through and through. Spent some days in California and wants to never go back kind of guy. But yeah, he dropped me off right here. Then the couple who owns the ranch, they came and scooped me up, and here I am. Been here a couple days, and I'll be here for the next few weeks up until Thanksgiving. Like I said, pretty ideal situation. So they're leaving tomorrow morning, and for the last couple days I've been here, I've just been helping them. They just chopped down a gigantic tree, so clearing some brush, and they're splitting wood. I'm stacking wood, things like that, getting to know the dog, getting to know the cats. It's like 1,000 acres here. It's absolutely beautiful. Way more vast than I expected at all. I don't know what I expected, just a little house on a piece of property, kind of. But no, there's the main cabin that they live in, which is very nice and livable, and the cabin that I'm in, which is also really nice. It's a bathroom and a big room, wood-burning stove. Then there's cabins just scattered throughout the whole property, big ones, small ones, some with kitchens, some without. The main house, which is not livable in the depths of winter, where it gets to -40, apparently, Fahrenheit, which is probably closing in on Celsius, same thing. But beautiful house, like big room with a fireplace and old books and stuff. Like 5-6 bedrooms up in that house. Like, there's just stuff scattered everywhere. Like the cat, we couldn't find one of the cats last night, so we were going everywhere, and it's like, wow, this place is freaking huge. It's over 1,000 acres altogether. Just stuff everywhere. There's horses running around, cows out here and there. We found the cat. He was super close to the house. I'm glad that happened then and not after they left. I definitely don't want to lose any of their cats, dogs. So, yeah, tomorrow they take off, and then I'll just be isolation mode for the most part. I met some of the neighbors, some of the family and stuff that live nearby, so I'm sure there'll be some drop-ins and things like that. And there's a car, so if I do have to go out, they said they supplied me with plenty of food and stuff, so I should be good there, but maybe I'll go out if I need to, get something specific. There's a town 10 or 20 miles away. But yeah, should be a trip. So the next episode I record will either be from here towards the tail end, or I don't know, maybe up in northwest Wyoming, and I'll catch you up on how all that went. I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to being productive and getting a ton of writing done and just relaxing. Life's tough, So that's it. That's catching you all up. Like I said, there's a lot of road to cover, so I dedicated an episode just to that. And the next one, it'll be there. In the meantime, I'll probably get a post or two up on hobolifestyle.com. So next story will be about Scotland, and then moving into England and France and things. Stories back from 2015, but good ones. So that was a great trip out there. So hobolifestyle.com, freestyletravelshow.com, obviously, for this podcast. And, it's on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. I post on Instagram, Hobo Lifestyle, once in a while. Probably get some good pictures from here, because I'll be walking the dog every morning, going on some good hikes and stuff. And there's a lot to see around here, so should be cool. All right, so stay up to date, and I will see you down the road. With all my shit straight, I'll get my big